I remember as a kid, we loved the things we did. Yeah. Times were different. Yeah. Back then the world felt smaller, but somehow it felt wide. We didn't have much at home, but we still carried pride. We laughed with what we had, made games out of the day. And even when life got hard, we still found a way. When I was small, my family was poor. I recall looking out, seeing groceries at the door. Getting an ice cream cone was not something we could afford. Every little thing we had felt borrowed from the Lord. Some friends had realized the situation we were in, so they got together quietly, held my family again. They didn't speak it loud, didn't try to make a scene. Just showed up with open hands and hearts that stayed clean. Back then that kind of kindness didn't come with strings attached. Folks would see a need and step in before things collapsed. We didn't call it charity, it felt more like love. The kind that lands so softly you swear it came from above. Back then, it seemed the sky was a lot bluer. Not so many people wanted to screw you. Back then, folks that looked you in the eye. Even when times got hard, there was still some good inside. Back then, it seemed the sky was a lot bluer. Not so many people wanted to screw you. Back then, folks that looked you in the eye. Even when times got hard, there was still some good inside. One night, a friend of my dad's came knocking. He tried to spit it out, but something was blocking. He finally got it out, almost in a shout, said, "Hey, let me tell you what this is about. I have cancer, but I've been thinking about your situation, and I got the answer." The room got still, the air got thin. I didn't know the meaning fully, but I could feel it settling in. I got about a week to live. I brought you something that I wanna give. Those words hung heavy like the walls had turned to stone. And even with the whole family there, that moment felt alone. I know you don't have a car. Nowadays without one you won't get very far. Come outside, look what I brought you. I don't need any money and it won't cost you. Now back at that time, I was about 8 years old. I remember how I didn't fully understand, but it felt very cold. I just knew something sacred was passing through the night. Something painful, something good, something bigger than my sight. I can still remember how my father looked at him. Gratitude and heartbreak all tied up within. No big speech was needed, you could feel it in the dark. Some people leave this world, but first they leave a mark. Back then, it seemed the sky was a lot bluer. Not so many people wanted to screw you. Back then, people still gave from the soul. Now it feels like everybody got a price up on the whole. Back then, it seemed the sky was a lot bluer. Not so many people wanted to screw you. Back then, people still gave from the soul. Now it feels like everybody got a price up on the whole. A couple weeks later, standing around the grave, listening to what everyone had to say. The minister talked of the new system, how we would see the people we had been missing. The wind moved through the trees and I stood there as a child, trying to make sense of these grown-up tears, grown-up pain, grown-up words I didn't know. Just staring at the casket, feeling something deep and low. I didn't understand death, not the final kind of gone, but I understood enough to know a light had moved on. But still, we didn't have much, but we had something you couldn't touch. You know, that kind of thing that many can't clutch. It's not esoteric, not some mystery in the air. It's the bond inside a family, the kind where people share. It's not something you can go get, it's not something money makes legit. It's what real families build, when they bend but never break, when they carry one another through every loss they take. Hey, yeah. Sleep in my bed, dreams running through my head. My dad banging on the door. Now remember we were poor, even though we had a job. He says, "Get up kids, we're getting robbed." We all run down the stairs, not one of us was scared. Adrenaline was rushing, every heart beat hard and fast. All the fear turned into motion like survival had been cast. But there they are, running down the street. We give chase like we are all at a track meet. Funny what you do when you got little left to lose, when the only thing you own is what you're trying not to lose. That night taught me how fast innocence can go, how even in the poorhouse the things we're fighting for. And maybe that's the part that still lives in me today. I struggle shape the people that I watched along the way. How pain could bring out cruelty, but sometimes something more. How the ones with almost nothing still found ways to help the poor. Now I look around and everything feels changed. Faces seem colder than the whole world feels strange. People move faster, but their hearts seem harder too. And that's why I keep returning to the memories I knew. Because back then we had problems, we had grief, we had pain, but there was still a kind of decency running through the veins. And even when the cupboards weren't holding much to eat, there was something in the spirit that could still make life feel sweet. Back then, 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 back then. It seemed the sky was a lot bluer. Not so many people wanted to screw you back then. People still gave from the soul. Now it feels like everybody got a price upon the whole. Back then, it seemed the sky was a lot bluer. Not so many people wanted to screw you back then. People still gave from the soul. Now it feels like everybody got a price upon the whole. Back then, back then.